On this episode of YaEat, we're making broccoli rabe sausage and bean soup with pasta shells.
Spend some time with your family and watch this recipe, and make sure you watch to the end.
At the end of today's recipe, we have a special appearance from Nana. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of YaEat. As usual, I am really excited to have you here, and I appreciate all your support. Well that we're into the fall season, I thought it'd be a good idea to make soup today because it's been cold at night and even cold during the day. But today on the Northeast, it's about 75 degrees, the sun is out, and it's a beautiful day. But we're still going to be making our soup. Today we're going to make our soup in 30 minutes or less. And today's soup is broccoli rabe, sausage, cannellini bean, and pasta. It's really delicious, really easy. I'm super excited and I'm ready to make this soup. Are you ready to make some soup? Here we go. Print all our recipes on YaEat.tv. Okay, so I put on a pot of water. So we're going to cook the pasta. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to cut up the broccoli rabe. I'm just going to cut the tips off of here. And we'll discard them. We're just going to cut them into smaller pieces. This is a 32-ounce container. This is a pretty big bunch of broccoli rabe. But I'm going to probably use 2 of these containers, or 2 bunches of broccoli rabe, with about 1.5 pounds of sausage. And I thoroughly wash this broccoli rabe. What I like to do is I like to just fill up a bowl of water, and then I like to submerge the broccoli rabe in there. Get it good, and then drain, refill up the water, and so on, till the water's clear. So I have some pork sausage here. It's stuffed with parsley and cheese. I got the links because I couldn't find the parsley and cheese ones that I wanted that weren't stuffed. So we're just going to take it out of the casing. It's really easy. And then you can use any sausage you want. You want to use chicken sausage, turkey sausage. It's up to you. Okay, so to remove the casing, you can just cut it in half. And basically, just going to peel it right off. So the sausage is out of the casing now. It still takes the shape of the casing. We're just going to break it down a little bit. Okay, so we're going to add some extra virgin olive oil to the pan. About 2 or 3 tablespoons. We're going to add our sausage, and we want this to break down. We don't want to keep it too big, so we're going to break it down as we cook it. While the sausage is cooking, I'm going to cut up some garlic and some onion. I have a medium-sized onion here. I'm going to continue to break it down as it cooks, in smaller pieces. So we'll continue to cook the sausage until it browns. Meanwhile, we can continue opening up our cannellini beans. I have 3 cans here. I don't know if I'm going to use all 3. It really depends. I'm going to use 3 quarts of stock, though. All right, it's starting to brown very nicely. So what I'm going to do for a second is I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to take the sausage out for a minute. I'm going to take the sausage out, but I want to keep the oil in here. Okay, so now I'm just going to peel some garlic and add that to the saute pan with some onion and the carrots. And then we'll add the broccoli rabe. Saute that down just a little bit. So we're going to add this garlic to this pan. Make sure that we have as much grease in there as possible. You can always remove the grease later. So real quick, I'm going to put my pasta. I'm going to cook it al dente, and I'm going to just cool it down, and we'll add it as we need it to the soup. I don't like to put the pasta in the soup because then it gets all soggy. So while the pasta is cooking, we're going to add our vegetables. Now this is some shredded carrot that I shredded, or you could buy it this way. You could just dice it up. I'm going to use not all of this carrot, about half of it. I'm going to use some for garnish later. Now I like to cook my broccoli rabe a little bit first, so we're going to sweat this down. It's going to get a lot smaller. And if you need to, you can always add some extra oil. Okay, we're going to add a little salt to this. Black pepper. Okay, and as this is cooking, there's a lot of water in the broccoli rabe, so I'm going to try to almost like to glaze the pan. And we'll get more of that when we add the chicken stock in a couple of seconds. But you want to try to maybe just scrape the pan with a spoon. There's a lot of flavor at the bottom of that pan from the sausage that we cooked. Alright, you see how that broccoli rabe just shrunk down?
Don't forget about our monthly contest that we will be starting once we reach 1,000 YouTube subscribers. All you need to do to qualify is to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like at least one of our videos. And as our YouTube channel grows, so will our prizes. Don't forget to click the bell and spread the word.
Look really good. This by itself, you can eat it just like this if you want. Now you can put the sausage back in. And I'm going to add chicken stock. Don't want to overcook the pasta. Let's keep an eye on that. Alright, pasta's good. It's al dente. Let's drain that. Cool it down. We put the flame on high and we're going to bring it to a boil. Once it starts to boil, you're ready to go. We'll shut it off. We'll add the cheese. And we're going to add some beans before we do that. So let's add our beans. Now you can save some of these beans and mash it up and it'll thicken the soup up a little bit. But also I'm going to thicken the soup up with some cornstarch as well. Just make sure you don't cut yourself. This is a short fork. Maybe use a longer one. We'll put it in a bowl. And you'll see we're just going to add that here. Okay, so we're just going to bring this to a boil. Then we'll shut it off. We're going to add some cheese. And that's just soup. Okay, so I have about a half a cup of water, and I put a nice generous tablespoon of cornstarch, maybe a little more than a tablespoon, and we're going to just mix that in to the water, dissolve it, cold water. This is a great way to thicken up soups and sauces when you don't have time to cook out the flour. Well, you don't want to cook out the flour. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that third can of beans. You could also crush these beans in your hand, make this a little thicker. This also works as well. Okay, so we're almost done. Once this comes to a boil, we'll thicken it up a little bit. Let's just give it a taste test. Tastes really good as is. Doesn't need any more seasoning. Maybe more black pepper. Our soup is now simmering. I lowered it down. We're going to thicken it up a little bit here now with some of this cornstarch slurry that we made. We're going to add a little bit at a time, maybe half of it. We don't want to over thicken it, right? We just want to thicken it a little bit. So we'll add a little bit of cornstarch slurry at a time. Now all this stuff that's on top here, we can skim that off with a ladle. That scares you, perfectly edible. I want a little bit thicker. We'll add a little bit more of this slurry. About a half cup's worth. All right, we're gonna shut this down. If you ever thicken it too much, just you can add a little bit more chicken stock or even some water. Okay, we'll shut it down now. And we're gonna add the cheese. We want to stir as we add. We don't want it to just all sit at the bottom. And obviously you know how much I love pecorino romano cheese. This is like the secret ingredient. Okay, so now it's time to put it on the plate. Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to add some of the pasta. Even if the pasta is warm, the soup is so hot, it'll get hot quick. So layer some nice pasta here. Let's just sprinkle a little bit of the carrot on top for color. A little bit of the pecorino romano cheese.
Broccoli rabe sausage and bean soup with pasta shells. You eat, you want to eat, make this recipe. It's delicious.
Okay, it's time for the taste test of our broccoli rabe sausage and bean soup. It's really, really good. I mean, I knew it was good because I've had it a million times, but you have to try this. The cold winter nights will be here soon enough. Banana cooking one type of shrimp, and I'm making another type of shrimp here.
What are you making, James?
That's it. Bacon wrapped shrimp.
It looks good, Mom.
I get a little close up with the food here.
Oh, let's check it out here. Let's check it out.
What we do with the shrimp, we do a così. 1, 2, 3.
That looks amazing. Holy good. Just pop.
Mangia e beve è tutta la famiglia at the Carreras.
Yes.
Saluti a tutti e ringrazio.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. Send it and make your brothers and sisters jealous.
Well, that wraps up this episode and recipe of broccoli rabe sausage and white bean soup. I am so glad that you joined me today. We'll be back next week with a new recipe. You have a great week. Again, thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next week.
Here's an offer you shouldn't refuse. Subscribe to this channel.